What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go in great detail with all of the stats of every one of the weapons in CoD World War II. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the Blunderbuss. Now in real life, the Blunderbuss isn't necessarily a model of a weapon, it's more so a category of a weapon, and it's the predecessor to the modern shotgun. The Blunderbuss is a muzzle-loaded firearm, and the one that's used in CoD World War II is a flintlock model. In-game, it behaves just like the other shotguns when it comes to damage, so we deal a base damage just for being able to hit your enemy, and then for each pellet on top of that base damage, you deal 2 damage per pellet. Our base damage profile is 96, 94, 90, 80, which is actually the most forgiving damage profile out of any of the shotguns in the game. So our maximum damage per shot, assuming every single one of the 8 pellets hits within that shot, is 112, 110, 106, and 96. And essentially what this means is, especially up close, you really don't need to hit very many pellets. Unlike the combat shotgun where you have to hit 3 pellets up close to get a one-shot kill, you only have to hit 2 with the Blunderbuss. Our rate of fire is technically equal to our reload time with this, since it is a single-shot shotgun, and I managed to calculate the rate of fire at just 12 rounds per minute. It's by far the slowest firing gun in the game. Now, we can't use the rapid fire attachment on the Blunderbuss, it simply doesn't exist, but with Hustle, we increase our reload speed, which, like I said, our reload speed is what translates to rate of fire. If you're using Hustle, our effective rate of fire bumps up to 17 rounds per minute, which is still very slow, but much faster than 12 rounds per minute. Getting into our ranges, we have an excellent 2-pellet kill range at about 7.5 meters, and then our other ranges that still make this a one-shot kill, whether that be 3 pellets or 5 pellets, this extends out to just over 11 meters, which is the best in the shotgun category aside from the Luftwaffe drilling. Now our final little range here extends out to 15 meters, and this is where it's going to be a 2-shot kill even if you hit every single one of the pellets. Beyond that range, you won't deal any damage whatsoever with the Blunderbuss, and this is equal to the maximum range of the combat shotgun, the sawed-off, and the toggle action. As for advanced rifling, it behaves just like with the combat shotgun, where it doesn't really do anything to help with your one-shot kill potential at all. All it really does is it tacks on a little bit of extra range for your maximum hit potential, but this comes at the cost of a reduced damage within that long-distance damage range. Although with this gun, it is still going to be a 2-shot kill, so essentially all you're doing is extending your 2-shot kill, which I think is pretty much irrelevant for this, since with the Blunderbuss, you're never going to have time to reload. Normally, if you get a hit marker, you have to switch to your pistol in order to finish off that kill. So advanced rifling is essentially useless in core modes for the Blunderbuss. As for hardcore, at any range that you're able to get a hit marker, whether that be with advanced rifling or not with advanced rifling, you will be getting a one-shot kill in hardcore game modes, so advanced rifling isn't a bad choice for hardcore. Moving on to our Hipfire Spread, it has the worst Hipfire Spread in the shotgun category, tied with the sawed-off shotgun. And when we aim down sight with the Blunderbuss, we still get a very wide spread. It technically tightens the spread up just a little tiny bit based on the hard-coded stats, but it's such a small amount that realistically, you're probably not going to notice any difference whatsoever in-game. As for our capacity, like I said, it is a single shot, so we don't have a magazine capacity, and we get 9 extra shots for our starting ammo. As for extended mags, obviously with this gun, we don't have the option to use extended mags. For our reload add time, it's 3.87 seconds without Hustle, and with Hustle, we cut that down very significantly down to 2.22 seconds. So with this gun, I would say Hustle is pretty much a must-have on your class. Moving on to handling and mobility, we get a standard aim down sight time at 250 milliseconds, but our sprint out time isn't standard for the shotgun category. It's actually really fast for the shotgun category at just 150 milliseconds, so that's one of the big upsides to using the Blunderbuss over the other shotguns in the game. As for movement speed, it's standard at 100%, and same thing goes with our aim down sight strafe speed. This is also standard for shotguns at 80%. As for attachments on the Blunderbuss, we actually only have access to 4 attachments, and that is quick draw, steady aim, advanced rifling, and incendiary shells. I personally don't like the incendiary shells. It's just like with the combat shotgun where it actually reduces your damage, or at least your instant damage that you deal, and this leads to a lot of situations where you would normally have just gotten an instant one-shot kill, but now your enemy has time to actually kill you as they're slowly burning to death. So generally, I completely avoid incendiary shells on the Blunderbuss. As a result, my preferred attachments are just going to be quick draw, steady aim, and advanced rifling. Like I said earlier, advanced rifling doesn't really do much to help you, but then again, it doesn't really hurt you with this shotgun, and since there's no other alternatives, you might as well pop it on. Same thing goes with quick draw. I rarely aim down sight with the shotgun because, like I said, it has almost no effect whatsoever on your spread by aiming down sight. So realistically speaking, steady aim is the only attachment that's really doing something for you on the Blunderbuss. And this brings us to a couple example classes I have for you guys, and keep in mind with the Blunderbuss, there's really not a whole lot of room for variety in your classes if you're trying to make the most effective Blunderbuss class possible. Like I said earlier, Hustle is pretty much 100% a necessity with this gun. I hate using this gun if I'm not using Hustle, and therefore it's going to be on any Blunderbuss class I ever make. Same thing goes with the attachments. Like I said, there's only 3 attachments that I will use. That's going to be quick draw, steady aim, and advanced rifling. And this means really the only thing I change out is the division. This first example class I have is using the resistance division, which is sometimes really nice to have that sixth sense ability with a shotgun, so you always know when an enemy is approaching you. And since you have a shotgun that dominates up close, that can be really helpful for you in going on longer streaks with this shotgun. Just like with all of my classes, we've got the 9mm SAP with extended mags, a sticky grenade as our lethal, and a stun grenade as our tactical. This brings us to the second class, which is basically exactly the same class, but we swapped out resistance for expeditionary. Now the reason we use expeditionary on this one is first off we get lots of equipment to use, so we get 2 sticky grenades as well as 2 tacticals. But also the nice thing about this is it replenishes your ammo, and that's one thing with the Blunderbuss. If you get really good with it and you start going on a streak, you can run out of ammo fairly quickly unless you're using expeditionary or forage, but I'm not going to sacrifice hustle for forage, and therefore expeditionary is the obvious choice. And with that, that's pretty much it for today's episode on the Blunderbuss. Personally, I think this is a really fun shotgun to use. It's way more forgiving than the combat shotgun. Like I said, you only have to hit 2 pellets up close, which is really nice. You'll rarely ever get hit markers with this gun if you're really close to your enemies. And I like to treat it as kind of a fun challenge gun. It's obviously not going to be the most effective shotgun in every scenario. Generally, I would prefer having a combat shotgun, even though you do see a few more hit markers. At least you got that next shot ready to go fairly quickly with the combat shotgun, unlike the Blunderbuss. Of course, as always, I'd like to know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the Blunderbuss so far? Also, if you guys have missed any previous episodes of Gun Guides, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.